Good guy, bad guy. The good guy, bad guy routine is a classic negotiation tactic borrowed from various interpersonal interactions and dramatized in law enforcement and sales scenarios. It involves a deliberate role play between two negotiators on the same team to manipulate the negotiation dynamics and pressure the other party into making concessions. How it works. Role differentiation. One negotiator adopts the good guy role, presenting themselves as empathetic, reasonable, and understanding towards the other party's needs and limitations. Meanwhile, the other takes on the bad guy persona, adopting a tougher, more rigid stance on demands and concessions. Psychological pressure. The contrast between the good guy's willingness to compromise and the bad guy's inflexibility creates psychological pressure on the opposing party. It exploits the human tendency to seek approval and avoid conflict, pushing them towards the good guy's proposals. Leverage creation. The good guy uses the bad guy as leverage, suggesting that any failure to reach an agreement will result in less favorable terms with the bad guy. This is intended to make their own concessions seem more appealing and reasonable by comparison. Effectiveness and risks. Short-term gains. This tactic can be effective in securing immediate concessions, especially if the other party is keen to avoid conflict or is under pressure to reach an agreement. Long-term consequences. Its effectiveness diminishes over time, particularly if the same parties engage in repeated negotiations. Once recognized, the tactic can lead to distrust, damaging long-term relationships and making future negotiations more difficult. Perception of manipulation. If perceived as manipulative or dishonest, the good guy, bad guy routine can backfire, leading to resistance or outright rejection of any proposed terms. Ethical considerations. Transparency and trust. While negotiation tactics are expected to involve a certain level of strategy, those that are perceived as underhanded can undermine trust. Maintaining ethical standards and respecting the other party's intelligence and dignity is crucial. Balance and fairness. Negotiators should aim for outcomes that are fair and beneficial to all parties. Tactics that manipulate or coerce concessions can lead to agreements that are unbalanced and unsustainable. Alternative approaches. Mutual gains approach. Focusing on creating value for both sides and exploring interests behind positions can lead to more sustainable and positive outcomes without resorting to manipulative tactics. Open communication. Building a negotiation on open communication, transparency about objectives, and mutual respect can foster a more collaborative environment and lead to better overall results. In conclusion, while the good guy, bad guy routine can offer short-term advantages in negotiations, its potential to damage relationships and reputations means it should be used with caution, if at all. Adopting a more collaborative and transparent approach can lead to more sustainable and mutually beneficial agreements, preserving relationships for future negotiations.